Greetings from the home of the Greyhounds. I'm Doc Elder, and I would like to welcome you to the Lone Star Conference Media Day, Eastern New Mexico University style. We've got a member of the Greyhound women's basketball team, Kamirah Decker, and we've got the head coach of Eastern, Meghan Reyes. And ladies, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Great to see you, Doc.
Well, Meghan, we'll start out with you. There are many things that you hope are going to happen every time the Greyhound women hit the floor, but there's one thing that you expect every night. What's the one thing you're going to expect every night?
Doc, we're going to compete. We're going to compete. That's what we've been doing all preseason with our challenges and competitions. We are going to compete. That's one thing I know about all the young ladies on our team is that they love basketball. They love each other. And we're going to go out and we're going to fight and we're going to work really, really hard and do everything we can to come out on the good side. But I know every time we're going to compete.
And Coach, you have been involved in coaching for, we won't say how many years because you're still a very young lady, but you've been coaching a little bit. But this is the first time that you'll be a head coach on the collegiate level. What's different?
The basketball part's pretty much the same. It really is. Basketball's basketball. No, it's shoot, pass, dribble. But it's a lot of the off-the-court stuff. There's just a lot of other aspects to coaching that I don't think are realized until you actually sit in the hot seat. And then you just kind of oversee everything. The amount of decisions I make in one day is plentiful. So, but I'm loving it. I'm loving it, moaning it, and I just get to work with the most fantastic ladies every single night. And so it's just made my job that much easier, even if it's my first time.
And obviously, you hope that you're going to be very good offensively, defensively. You hope you rebound. You hope you shoot free throws well. But if you had to narrow it down and say there is one thing absolutely that you want your ladies to do day in and day out, what's that one category?
So if we have to pick a category of basketball, it's defend. We're going to defend. We're a defensive-minded team. We're going to dictate the pace of the game with our defense. So they can be ready to play Greyhound basketball every night out because of how we defend. So that's our first and foremost. And then that will lead into rebounding and being able to transition and everything that follows, but it has to start with defense.
Well, and obviously there are a lot of different defensive schemes, and you're probably going to have to be able to play all of them to a certain extent. But if there's one defense that is going to be most of the 40 minutes, what is that defense going to be?
It's a great question. I'm not going to share it right now, Doc, though. We're not going to share that. We're going to keep that in our back pocket. I've had the privilege of playing with or coaching for a number of different defensive schemes, and so there's quite a lot in our toolbox, but it's going to depend on our opponent, and we're obviously taking into consideration our personnel, but we can't let the secrets out of the bag quite yet, Doc.
Okay, well, I like that. That's called a teaser in the business.
That's right. That's right.
And speaking of personnel, we have a young lady that's been a part of the program, Kamirah Decker. And Kamirah, obviously the pandemic year was tough on everybody, and there were people that just couldn't stand the emotional or the psychological strain and aren't with the program. You're still here. What kept you here?
Honestly, the team. It was a true blessing to be able to be surrounded by girls and teammates that I care about, that care about me, that we love each other, we bond with each other. So even this year where we didn't get to compete and we were able to see all of our competitors compete, we were still in the gym together. We were still making plans together off the court. We were still getting the team chemistry part together. So now we're able to get where we're at here, and it's just making it 1,000 times easier.
Well, it doesn't seem like that long ago that you were the new kid and you were the rookie and the wide-eyed young lady from Rio Rancho, and now you're the vet. So how has your role changed?
I would say my role here, I would say I got to use my voice a little bit more, because for me, one thing with me, I always wanted to kind of lead with my actions, but I know there's a lot of knowledge, there's a lot of respect that comes from the upperclassmen, because when I was a younger classman, the words they would say, whether it was 3 words, whether it was a speech, I took what they had to say and I would apply it to whatever I could. So I know that my voice carries some power with it, so I got to use it and make sure I'm passing on what I've learned to the next freshman, the next sophomore, whoever comes through, because it's only going to make our program better.
Well, I remember asking you the question when I got a chance to interview for you for the first time, who was the upperclassman who had taken you under her wing? And now you're in that situation. So is there one young lady that you're really mentoring?
Oh, no. I'm mentoring everybody, all 11 of us. And I can say the same thing with the other 12, 11 on our team. We're all mentoring each other. It's awesome because even though this year we have maybe, I want to say we have 2 freshmen, they don't play like freshmen. Their IQ is amazing. Their court awareness is amazing. We're all able to mentor each other and teach each other because we all bring different skills to the table. So it's really cool to see that I can learn from a freshman, or I can teach a freshman, I can teach a sophomore, I can teach another senior or super senior as we refer to them. And it's really special. It's really cool.
Well, and obviously it's been a while since we got to see a chance to see you play basketball, but the last time we did see Greyhound ladies in action, you qualified for the NCAA tournament.
Yes.
And obviously there's still got to be a little bit of carryover from that success.
Yes, for sure. I feel like with the team we have now, we're picking up right where we left off, and we're excelling even further. Just because one thing I know for sure, all of us in this one year, we weren't able to compete on the court. We were still on the court getting better. So the team you've seen in the past, the film you have in the past, those players are gone. We are so much better as individuals, and as a whole, it's going to be scary. It's going to be scary.
Well, Meghan, obviously it was a bummer for the young ladies, for everybody, that there wasn't a season last year. But yet on the other hand, there's an opportunity that arises from not having played in 2 years. And what is the upside of that?
There's a lot of upside. I think we have a giant chip on our shoulder. We have a giant chip because our competitors got to play last season. And I think last season was way harder than coming in and having to play this season after a season off. If anything, I see it as a positive. I see it as an advantage. I see it as we don't take anything for granted. We had to miss an entire year, and these players are so persistent, and they are so locked in, and they are so passionate about basketball. They all stayed together, and they came back. There's something to be said for that. We were out of our routine. They still got in the gym. We had a change in the coaching staff. They still stayed. Everybody's here to be a Greyhound, and we are not done. We have unfinished business to take care of. And so I think there might be some people in the audience that might think we're not going to be there this year, or they kind of write us out for this year. Got another thing coming because we all have chips on our shoulder.
Well, Coach, we hope that the Greyhound Arena, which seats 4,800 at max, is filled to capacity on a regular basis. So we hope there are a lot of people that are going to be watching you in action personally. Lone Star Conference has a live feed that for a very small fee. There's a shameless plug for the Lone Star Conference. So people can watch you, people can listen to you. What's the one thing you hope is the takeaway? If a person watches you play in person or live stream or listens to one of your games, what's the one thing about your team that you hope they're going to get?
Just like we started the interview out, we're going to compete. They're going to watch and they're going to say, wow, that team plays hard. That team plays for each other. That team is there, and they're going to do whatever it takes, getting on the floor for loose balls, taking charges, picking each other up off the floor. We're going to be that team that you don't want to play every night, time in and time out. Don't know what the scoreboard is going to show at the end. We can't predict that quite yet. It's way too early. But what I know is we're going to compete, and we're going to be fun to watch.
And as it turns out, you actually get to open the season, from what I understand, at Greyhound Arena. You get to play on November 6th.
Yes, we do. So Northern New Mexico, we have a NAIA team that's going to come November 6th, play in the arena. Everybody's got to come watch and see the new Greyhounds, because just like Kamirah was telling us before, we're a completely new team. And even the returners that are here, they're at a different level than I've ever seen them play, and it's a tribute to their hard work in these first 7-8 weeks so far of preseason. We're so looking forward to October 15th, Friday, first day of actual in-season practice. And then, of course, we welcome everybody in the community to come back and watch and fill the stands and give us their energy and be our sixth man on November 6th.
Well, Coach, Kamirah, thanks for being our guest, and best of luck this season.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it, Doc.
All right, well, that is going to wrap up Lone Star Conference Media Day for Eastern New Mexico University women's basketball. So this is Doc Elder saying, so long.